Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're previewing the other game. I'm not going to say the other game, this is the real game of the Autumn Nation series this week. There's only two. There's New Zealand going all hack on England's ass and beating them, and then there's Scotland beating Fiji. So, yeah, let's get into it. We're going to go through the lineups. I apologise for my pronunciation of the Fiji lineups in advance. I have been practising, however, yeah, I'm hopeless. I apologise. But yeah, we'll start off with Scotland, just as it's the home team. So, for your Scotland lineup, I will have it be known now that this is outside the international window, so anyone that plays in, looking at it, France or England, won't be playing, so no Finn Russell for Scotland. Let's go through the Scotland lineup. So, number 1, we have Pierre Schumann. Number 2, Ewan Ashman. Number 3, Xander Fagerson. Number 4, Grant Gilchrist. Number 5, Scott Cummings. Number 6, Matt Fagerson. Number 7, Rory Dodge. Number 8, Jack Dempsey. Number 9, Ali Price. Number 10, Adam Hastings. Number 11, Duhan van der Merwe. Number 12, Sione Tuipulotu. Number 13, Hugh Jones. Number 14, Darcy Graham. And number 15, Kyle Rowe. So, to be honest with you, for missing several players, this is about an expected Scotland lineup. The one questionable change for me is that there's no George Horn. You've got Ali Price in instead, but he's been alright for Edinburgh at the start of this season, so I can kind of understand why. Apart from that, though, it's about as strong as Scotland can go, which is understandable. I will get to the game in a bit, but it's understandable. Anyway, moving on to the bench, we have 16 Dylan Richardson, 17 Rory Sutherland, 18 Darcy Ray, 19 Max Williamson, 20 Gregor Brown, 21 Jamie Dobie, 22 Tom Jordan, and 23 Stafford McDowell. So we will have a few debutants on the bench, I think. Definitely Tom Jordan, for sure. Again, that's probably about as strong as Scotland can get with all their, only people playing Scotland bar Dylan Richardson, who actually plays for the Sharks in South Africa. But because it's URC, maybe there was something, a deal struck or something there, as it's quite obvious Scotland and South Africa. Well, there's a lot of players moving between the two. Anyway, so a fairly strong Scotland lineup. Moving on to Fiji. Again, I apologise in advance for this. We have 1, Harrieti Hitete. Number 2, Tavita Ikvansveri. Number 3, Samuela Tawaki. Number 4, Eosa Nyasalasela. Number 5, Ratu Leon Rotulusulia. Number 6, Ratu Meli Dragon Alagale. Number 7, Kitoni Saliwa. Number 8, Ila Kani Kakivatia. Number 9, Frank Lomone. Number 10, Caleb Muntz. Number 11, Ponpate Loganmasi. Number 12, Iani Tabuvuavu. Number 13, Apialosmo Vota. Number 14, Viatu Karuwilu. And 15, Isaiah Rayatuluva. So again, I apologise, I've butchered every single one of those. I have been sitting practising for about an hour and still I'm useless. But yeah, it pretty much seems like the Fiji drew a lineup, just about, which is understandable as it is outside the window. That is unfortunate. And we'll go on to the bench now. We have 16, Mesulme Dolokoto. 17, Levi Naif Natiavi. 18, John Koriduidua. 19, Mekasaki Voki. 20, Velive Marimba. 21, Semi Kuravuluru. 22, Kemulu Valetini. And 23, Waka Nalagala. Again, apologies for that. So yeah, not a strong Fijian lineup. They're missing a lot of big players, but yeah, it is unfortunate as Fiji have actually been really good recently. Obviously, they won a decent little winning run. They walked the Pacific Nations Cup. They yeah, even back to the World Cup. I mean, they got, to be honest with you, Fiji were two slightly skiff offloads off of A, going unbeaten in the pool, and B, getting to the semi-final. A lot of people forget how close Fiji were to beating England. A lot of people forget that Fiji were actually a lot better than England in that game. They just struggled to score. Yeah, Fiji are in a really good place. And I mean, obviously, they beat England just before the World Cup. So, Fiji are a decent team at the minute. They are, and it's good to Fiji. It is unfortunate that they've not got all the top players. But Fiji is Fiji. I still suspect they'll be throwing the ball around Fiji style. Yeah. However, I think the scales tip slightly too far in Scotland's direction. Before, even with a full Fiji lineup, I probably would have said Scotland by about 10. Now, to be honest with you, I don't want to be mean to Fiji, but 50, I think, is a genuine possibility as long as Scotland don't play like they've never seen a rugby ball before, which actually, knowing Scotland, is a high possibility. Yeah, that is just the distance between the two sides. It's unfortunate because I'm really hoping that this will be a good game, but just looking at the lineups, yeah, you've got a massive gap. But it could be a good game, but I do expect Scotland to probably win fairly big. From an Autumn Nations Cup point of view, not an Autumn Nations Series point of view, Scotland should really be looking at 3 out of 4. They should win this, they should beat Portugal, they should beat Australia, and I want to see them at least challenge the Box. I don't want to see them roll over and let the Box walk them. I'm not saying they need to beat the Box, but I think they need to at least give them a good game. Yeah, that's kind of where I stand with Scotland. 3 out of 4 and a decent showing against the Box, and I'd be relatively happy. Now, yes, everyone wants to go 4 out of 4. However, being realistic, I mean, Argentina have proved you can get at South Africa. However, Scotland seem to always shit the bed whenever they play New Zealand or South Africa. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that game next week. Scotland-Fiji. It should be a good game. But I do expect Scotland to win fairly big. Just the gap in quality between the teams. It's unfortunate. I mean, Scotland are one of those teams where they've got the power in Scotland. If this team lined up in against a South Africa or something, you'd still go, it's not bad. Yes, they're missing a few big players like Finn Russell, like Blair Kinghorn, but it's still manageable. Whereas Fiji missing a lot of players because they're overplaying mainly in France. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm going to say Scotland, and I'm going to say by 20, because I do think Scotland will run away with it a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. That's the other video done today. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, I shall see you later.